I'm a bit out of breath for this video, although this seems to be happening more and more in my videos. So I'm doing a forest trail in southwestern Lithuania, and you can see the trees are pretty tall here, and it's really nicely laid out, places to stop such as this. It's a nice tree trunk to sit on, and here we can admire the Lake Vištytis, which marks the border between Lithuania, where I am right now, and Russia, which is on the other side. That is the Kaliningrad Oblast. That is the northern half of former East Prussia, which was taken by the Soviet Union after the end of World War II and awarded to Russia by themselves later. And so I'm in Lithuania. We can, however, see the border markings. Very curious thing about this the border markings is at the 1990 the border actually was at the shoreline, our shoreline, this side. And obviously that means if you went paddling in the lake, then you could be done for making a border crossing. And in theory, I don't quite know how you'd enforce it, but anyway, there was an agreement in exchange for territorial compensation. The border was actually put out into the lake, even though the overwhelming bulk of the lake is still in Russia. Let's see if we can see a border marker. There you go, there's a bird on it. Makes it a bit clearer. Looks like it's a cormorant. I can't tell though, I'm not certain. Sorry, take that bit back about being a cormorant, I can't tell. But that's what these border markers look like. Others are a red colour. Most of them, the red and green is the colour used by the Russian Federation. Now, quite recently they started removing the border markers at sea. The buoys, I can't remember how you pronounce boy in American English, boy or buoy or something, can't remember. But anyway, the things which are out at sea or in the lake in this case, they started removing them, which I can only see that as being a provocation designed to show intended aggression. And given the aggression against Ukraine, and the fact that Putin says that all territories that were once Russian are still to be considered Russian, but he doesn't say what year he's actually considering. Does he mean, for example, that before World War II, the Russian Empire, which would include a large chunk of Poland, but not that land in front of me right now? Or does it mean that any land that ever was Russian needs to be returned to Russia? For example, that would stay as part of Russia, the land we've got in front of us right now, but they'd also get the parts of Poland that they occupied at the end of the 18th century, etc. So this is something which is not clear what the aims are, and it's deliberately left unclear, because this is how I think imperialists work. They say that's our land because it was ours in inverted brackets, inverted commas, something in the past. Like I could say, well, if I made myself a British nationalist, I could sort of say that large parts of France, which were once part of England, need to be turned to France. But that would mean, of course, that Scotland couldn't be part of the United Kingdom. It's a totally ridiculous argument. But problem is that people are dying in Ukraine right now because of this argument. Indeed, we're now looking at the casualties in Russia, which are greater than those suffered by the United Kingdom in the Second World War. So I think that the level of deaths is something worth considering, and casualties, which obviously includes wounded as well, is now well over 1 million people. Anyway, having said all that, let's have a look at over here. I notice there's a bit of a reed thing on the other side, so let's have a look at that. There you go, there's the reeds. Now I'm using the digital zoom as well as the optical zoom. So the optical zoom goes up to 10 times, and that's now on 20 times. So that's why it might be a bit more blurry. Anyway, Lake Vištytis, despite its proximity to Russia, which has got absolutely, well, very little regard to ecology, and this lake is very, very clear. It also needs to be borne in mind that Russia occupied, the Soviet Union occupied Lithuania, all of Lithuania, in 1940, June 1940, and the obviously Nazi Germany, which was then the other side of the lake, invaded the Soviet Union, where I am now, in 1941, 22nd of June 1941. It captured Lithuania very, very quickly. Indeed, it was at Pskov on 19 days after the invasion. Pskov, which is almost, what's what, about getting on for 2/3 of the way to Petersburg, Leningrad, as it was. So the Soviet Union had, although it portrayed itself as being a country which looked after nature, it didn't. And so we see some of these dreadful ecological disasters which happened there, such as the worst being, of course, Chernobyl. So anyway, here I am. This is Lithuania. I think it's a really good place, really good tourist infrastructure. And I just did a short tour because I have to be in hospital. So a dog bit me. I've got to do my final rabies injection in 2 days' time. And I was in hospital last week as well. For those of you who get bitten by a dog and need a rabies injection, don't worry, it doesn't hurt at all. It's not like it once was. People have said to me, "Oh, you're so poor you." You know, really, it's not painful at all. So I know it once was. So wonderful, wonderful. And oh, something here I was hoping to see is a black woodpecker, because they said they were here. But the black woodpecker has a very distinctive sound. And I did see one once. I was on the phone at the time, and instead of putting the phone down, I continued talking, and I failed therefore to film or photograph the black woodpecker. So since then, last 2 years, I've wanted to see one to photograph. They also said they've got the greatest spotted woodpecker, which are very common around here anyway. So, forest trail in Lithuania. And I'm the only one here, no one else around. Oh, this for me is life. This is to be able to do things like get up really early in the morning and see this. I think it's absolutely wonderful. And this is the problem. Why can't Putin just enjoy life? Why has he got to go around creating all this evil about places he'll never see? Why didn't he just go out in the forest and enjoy himself? I mean, Russia's a huge country. What's it need more and more and more territory for? What for? What good does it do? For whom? Certainly not for him. Well, maybe for him because he makes money off it, but certainly not for the people fighting for him. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found this rather disjointed video to be of interest. And I think I might just continue it by having a silent video of me walking through the forest by the lake. Thanks for watching. Cormorants. Cormorant.